Welcome, one and all, to episode 103 of Peace Talk. We are once again in the triple digits doing it. Welcome, one and all, to episode 103 of Peace Talk. I have a once again echo that comes through all the time. Please don't mind it. But other than that, yeah, we're in the triple digits. As you can see, ever since we got to episode 100, like the quality of the guests, the actual guests, and just the discussions have been heating up. So I think it's amazing. Episode 103, we have a very special guest. Thank you for joining us, Liana.
How are you? Having me.
No problem. There's definitely a lot to talk about, so I'm definitely excited that you're here. Shout out to those of you in the live chat. Thank you guys for showing up. We got this show on the road. And yeah, where are you currently at right now?
I'm in California.
Sweet, sweet, sweet. Definitely loving and digging the white background. It's really serene.
I'm blending into it right now with my white shirt.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I love your background. Stars. Ooh.
Yes, I am floating in subspace without oxygen, but still breathing.
I love it.
Yeah, it's great. Every peace talk that I have consistently with like another Gemini has always been like fun, has always been dope. So definitely, we're all definitely excited.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's why I'm wearing my Gemini shirt,
100%. Can we see that again?
Right here. It says 50% party animal, 50% don't care, 100% Gemini.
Nice. In fact, let's jump right into this part. What is your sun, moon, and rising for those who aren't aware?
Gemini sun, Gemini moon, and Sagittarius rising.
And that's what I love about like seeing that your Sag rising is evident. Like you really do shine these qualities. So that will make you sun and moon in the 7th, right?
Yep, that is correct.
Wow, that's wild. And then I think your life path number is 1, correct?
Yep, that is right. You have a good memory. Damn.
Oh, yeah, I can't forget stuff like that. That really stands out. Well, one thing I feel about new moon births is that it's a gift. It's definitely an experience in Gemini. So I thank you because you just sharing your presence with us is blessing us with this new moon life path 1 energy. So I stand to say anybody watching this right now is not only taking part of a cool ritual, but you could really expect any type of new enlightenment or if not in the course of this talk, be prepared because something's definitely going to trigger. But other than that, I think it's awesome. This is why you call yourself the Gem Goddess, correct?
Yes, it is. That's exactly correct. And also I sell crystals, so it kind of like fit hand in hand. I was like, we have to go with Gem as the Gemini and the crystal person. So
that's what I originally thought too. I thought, okay, you're just nice with the crystals, but then I'm like, oh, she's also a Gemini. So
exactly. That's the 2 sides of the Gemini. There's the Gemini, and the crystal Gemini.
Yeah, no, definitely. How do you feel? I think it's amazing. Congratulations, you've recently reached 100,000 subscribers.
Yeah, thank you for that.
That's what's up. I guess that's like the big YouTubers club. I know there's just a total significant difference. So and you even got your plaque, which is amazing. So I look forward to asking what that journey was like soon. But what do you? I can't help but notice that this is coinciding while Jupiter is probably in your 1st. So how was that like?
Yep, literally pretty much right when Jupiter went into my 1st, like that's when I started taking off. So that was like pretty intense, pretty crazy, and just expanding like who I am and myself and kind of like coming out of my shell, because I used to be really silent about my spirituality and like who I am, but my spirituality has literally been who I am at the core, like my whole entire life. And when Jupiter entered my 1st, it was just like, okay, time to shine that part of yourself. So that's when I was like, okay, I'm really going to start doing this on YouTube. And I used to have a beauty channel and I didn't really like feel like it touched my soul in any way. Like I love doing makeup and stuff, but it just wasn't, it didn't reach that like sole purpose for me. And so I started doing my spiritual stuff. I had no expectations for it. But all of a sudden people started like really catching on to it. And so that was amazing. And all of a sudden it expanded really quickly. Like I remember in the beginning of December, I think I had like 4,500 subscribers. And then it just like went out of nowhere. And I was just like, this is crazy. But I just felt so,
Interesting.
yeah, I felt so like meant to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the same channel, you didn't start a new channel, right? Like you converted
Yeah.
each channel. Oh, that's beautiful. That's
Yeah,
really
exactly. Yeah. And when I first converted into like my spiritual stuff, I definitely lost like quite a few subscribers because they were like, oh, I'm here for beauty. What is this? And like I lost a few, but quite a few stayed and were actually like genuinely interested in it, which was like really awesome. I remember being really nervous to finally like share my spiritual side because I was really quiet about it for a long time.
You came out of the closet.
Exactly. I came out of the closet. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So it was really awesome.
Is that your plaque behind you?
Yeah, I put it right there.
Yo, that is so awesome. Amazing, even. Congratulations. It truly is an attainment. I started my channel when Jupiter was in my first, but in Gemini. So it's really cool to see the polarity. Even though like late Taurus rising, that Sag rising just gives it that pop. I love it. Just that you're coming from it at a much higher level, literally. And I just love fire energy. Shout out to the Sagittariuses watching. Do you get along with Sagittarians, or is it?
I do. My best friend ever is a Sagittarius, and she's been my best friend since grade 6. And her sun is like right on my rising. Like it's only like 2 degrees off. And then my other best friend, she's a Sag rising also at the exact same degree as mine. And it's just like we're all right there.
The same degree as your rising sign?
Yeah, which is 1 degree. Yeah.
Oh, you're 1 degree Sag. That's perfect.
Yeah.
What degree is your sun and moon?
My moon's 15 and my sun's 18, Gemini.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's what's up. That's really what's up.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, my son's 20 in technology, but
Nice. So we're like right there. And I also like that Taurus rising. It adds that humor in there. My brother's a Taurus, and I noticed you two have like the same type of humor.
Is it like a dry humor or like a slower humor?
It's like a really funny, like, I don't even know. It's just like kind of unique. I wouldn't even call it dry or like, it's just, you guys think of like the funniest way of like saying things, and just like everything you say is somehow funny. I don't know how. I don't even know how to explain it, but it just is.
Thank you. Thank you. That's nice to know that you have a Taurian brother too. Tauruses are really cool. They're really I don't even want to say they're dependable, but like when they're good, they're amazing. Like you can definitely count on them. So that's what's up. Is that your only sibling?
No, I have like quite a few others.
Oh, word. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you the only lady in your family or sister?
I have one other, and I have 2 sister-in-laws. So
2 sisters-in-laws. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Other than that, yeah, this is really dope. I remember 2017 at the convention, we had kind of mentioned that, like we were talking to other people, and you had said like we still haven't had our talk yet. So I'm glad we could finally like, chop it up right here.
I know, exactly. This is perfect.
Yeah, definitely the right platform. And yeah, other than that, where should we take this? I guess I'm definitely curious about what got you into doing this, because you did just mention coming out more and expressing more of your spirituality, but how long have you been versed in crystals? I remember because I've seen a bit of the collection, and it's legit. Like the presence and the vibe is very comforting, very cleansing. So.
Oh yeah, definitely. My house is literally, it has crystals in every single corner, like multiple ones. But the crystal thing is actually more of a new thing. Like when I was a kid, I didn't look into crystals as much, but the crystals like came about maybe like a few years ago, I started like kind of knowing a little bit about them, but only recently did I start to know like all the crazy ones that like people don't really know about that aren't so common anymore. But it used to be just like kind of the common ones. The first thing I started out in was Reiki though. When I was 5 years old, I like started doing it just like naturally.
You did
And did not
fine.
even know what it was. Yeah. And I used to always cleanse my mom's energy and be like, oh my gosh, like your back, I can tell it's like tense and like tight and like you have some energy build up like right here. And I'd always see colors, didn't know what it was. I didn't know about chakras. I didn't know about any of that, but I could feel people's energy and know how to kind of like fix it, and I could move it. And so started doing that when I was 5, and my mom finally told me what it was, like when I was about 8 years old. And then I took like my master's in Reiki eventually when I was a teenager. Then got into tarot cards because my mom's like super spiritual. She's the one who kind of like got me into astrology and tarot. So I started learning that when I was like around 12 years old, and that just kind of took off.
Let's talk about the Reiki, because
Yeah.
definitely being able to do that at like 5, that's amazing. I mean, having all this years of experience will really beat out people who just started, even though, you know, they may be powerful in their own right. What's a master's course in Reiki like? Is it more so teaching about the conditions of when to heal, how to heal? That seems pretty complex, but awesome.
Yeah. So most people go for like their practitioners, and I'd say I learned most in like Reiki level 1, and then you get your practitioner's certificate at like the second. Everyone has a different way of teaching it, but I learned it in 3 kind of like steps. And so the master's was kind of just learning how to initiate other people to do Reiki and how to attune them. And so that was basically like how my Reiki master taught me, was going from the basics and learning kind of like the symbols, how to do long distance Reiki, other things like that. And then the second portion was getting more deeper into like the chakras and how to really cleanse them, and working with your own abilities and how you see the chakras. And then, yeah, the master's was kind of just learning how to attune other people to Reiki. That's how I got taught.
You can attune people long distance, correct?
Yeah.
Could you speak more about the process of attunement? I've been attuned long distance, so I've personally felt that like we all have access to Reiki energy,
Yeah,
but
definitely.
of course, getting attuned by someone who knows what they're doing uh, can help focus your journey on this path. So, what's the whole process behind attunement? Like, what does it definitely help you do?
So everyone has kind of a different way, and I ended up kind of making my own way of doing it after doing what my master taught me, because he taught me through like the symbol, and usually you kind of like do this certain symbol and you take the person through a little bit of a meditative process, and help the energy kind of come down through their crown chakra and attune them to like getting the energy from the cosmos. But for myself, I kind of noticed you don't really need to do all of like the symbols and all of this. I find like it works better for myself, at least, when I really just focus on the actual energy that I'm bringing down rather than the actual drawing the symbol in the air, basically. So for me, I kind of open up their chakras and I tell them to imagine their chakras all opening like one by one. I usually start with the root chakra and imagine them opening all the way up. And then I take energy from the cosmos and I work with their guides and their higher self to come through and to allow that energy to flow and to keep them open to that energy, but also while staying protected so that they don't take in energies that they necessarily don't want to. So that's what I do.
And then after that, you're connecting them so that they can now flow with that.
Yeah, because a lot of us kind of like naturally shut down from like the cosmic energy, especially when we don't have like all of our chakras open all the time. And sometimes a lot of us close our crown chakra is really always open, because if it's not open, it's kind of like you're not receiving any energy at that point. But it's just opening it more so that you have that excess of energy, and so you're not wasting your energy when you give Reiki to someone. Because even someone who's not attuned can still do Reiki. Like it still works. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And so when you just attune somebody, you're just like opening the doorway just a little bit more. Like you can still hear the person on the other side, you can still do all that, but it's just like opening the gateways even more so that they're not wasting their energy. Because a lot of people, when they do Reiki, they'll be like, oh, I'm so tired after, and I'm taking on this person's problems. And it's like, well, that's because you're using your own energy. You're not supposed to use your own energy when you give Reiki to someone. You're supposed to take yeah, the energy from the cosmos and allow that to work its magic. And you're basically just telling this energy where to go, and you take the energy as well for yourself so that you're not wasting and spending your energy doing it, because then you're going to get tired. And when we're tired, we're not as we're more susceptible to receiving negative energy when we're really tired, and we're more susceptible to taking on the negative energy from the other person. So it's always good to take energy for yourself, have energy to work with, and energy to give.
That's amazing. I used to be pretty skeptical of this before until I really had no choice. Like I had a very stuffy nose, and I couldn't go to sleep. Like both noses were blocked, and this is when I just moved to Vegas, so I couldn't hit up my mom to get me like a prescription because she's a pediatrician, so she has like it's easy for her to go to like stuff for medicine and whatnot. But you know, I'm states away, and she definitely. And for those asking for the URL, I'm going to put that in the description box below for your channel and for your website. But yeah, I couldn't. She suggested that I get like some antibiotics, and it would have taken a while for me to get that. So I had no choice. My body instinctually got my selenite wand and I put it on my nose, and I just healed it for like, I just channeled Reiki energy through it. And then like 10, 15 minutes, a portion of my nose significantly was unblocked. And it wasn't, the cool part about it is it didn't just magically heal. Like there was still more work to be done. But like after I cleared it, I didn't need the antibiotics. It was never stuffy again for like months. And that's what made me really believe in Reiki.
Oh, wow. That's an amazing story.
It was why it definitely triggered something in me like, wow, we have this power in our energy.
Yeah.
So could you speak more on Reiki as a lifestyle? Because what that really inspired me to realize is like when, you know, I was thinking of Reiki as something to channel when you need it versus something that you can always be given. When you talk to someone, you're channeling the energy. When you're eating, you channel energy. And it's something that I'm working on mastering. But
oh my gosh, I'm so glad you brought that up, because I started doing this thing every single morning where I bring in energy from the cosmos, because usually I wake up and I'm like tired, and sometimes I'm uninspired because I'm thinking about all the work that I have to do. And so every morning now I've been like channeling energy from the cosmos and just like, okay, give me the exact amount of energy that I need to be so inspired to get all of my stuff done with pure inspiration and pure energy. And literally it does that. And you can also give Reiki to certain crystals, which I do. I have this one rubellite crystal, and rubellite's really amazing in so many different ways. And I put intention into it that that crystal would bring in energy from the cosmos every single day, like a cup of coffee, and transfer it into my energy. And I put certain intentions into the crystal as well, like this is going to do this for me and this for me and this for me, and give me the exact amount of energy and inspiration every single day to do everything. And every morning now that I wake up, I'm just so inspired to do all of my stuff. I feel like I've had a good night's rest, even if it's only 6 hours of sleep. And usually I'm a person that needs like 8 or 9. But I've literally woken up just feeling amazing every single day and really inspired. And I feel like I don't work a day in my life, even though my days are like full of doing work. Yeah. So
you just get a magic formula, because that's been a problem too, like getting energy, and you just simply requested for, you know, to channel it in and to, that's amazing.
Exactly, because a lot of people think it's selfish too, and so a lot of people don't do it because they're like, oh, I'm stealing energy from the universe. But it's like, no, you're giving it back as well, because you're doing work in this world. You're doing things in this world. You're moving energy, and energy can never be created or destroyed. And so you're literally just transmuting it into what you're doing. And so you're giving it back as well. And so it's not just like you're using it and then it's nothing.
Yeah. Plus, I think it's impossible to steal from an infinite source. So
exactly.
Great point. And this is important because I mean, there are people who go along their Reiki path and they have not really resolved certain, you know, trauma within them. And so sharing their healing might be, you know, not the wisest thing. So it's great. It's great to know you've been doing this since 5. We're talking about channeling cosmic energy. Uh-oh. Let me make sure. Oh, there we go. We're talking about channeling cosmic energy, which knowing that I definitely consider Gemini to be an angelic vibration. So like, you know, getting a healing from you is definitely getting a healing from a master angel, goddess. You know what I mean? How do you feel being connected to these light realms enhance your ability to channel this? And before you answer, my whole point was, you know, if anyone's interested in Reiki, if anyone's skeptical about it, please hit up the Gem Goddess or the Goddess Gem so that you're able to get the experience. Because I feel like as Geminis, we open the door for people who really want to get to know, you know, spirituality, especially.
Yeah, definitely. So I feel really connected to the Pleiades and also to like the Sirius constellation. And so for me, like a lot of Pleiadians have like a really strong heart chakra, and I feel like the need to just help others. And so I always kind of like channel that, and I always just have a really strong like heart connection. Whereas a lot of Geminis have like a strong throat chakra, whereas Pleiades usually have a not so strong throat chakra. So I feel like it kind of balanced itself out.
Nice.
And yeah, and so whenever I'm communicating about it, finally I can just channel my energy, my Gemini energy, and talk about it. And then when I need to do like healing work, I just become my more Palladian self and have that big heart chakra where I just spread out love. And I feel like love is the ultimate healer.
So when you actually put in love to what you do, this is what inspires. Uh-oh, got a little bit frozen. But I do agree. I think that's amazing. Like adding love into the intent of what you do will bring and add strength, which is totally awesome. By the way, guys, I just updated the description box. So for those of you asking for her YouTube channel or website, it is there in the description below. Reiki is definitely something I didn't expect to talk about too much, but it's so important because it does make a real difference in people's lives. How's your experience healing other people, and any memorable moments stick out to you?
Yes, especially the long distance Reiki that I started doing for people. I've had multiple people like always return to it because I've had people cry during a session and say that it was like one of the most beautiful experiences they've ever gone through. I've had people message and tell me after like all of their life like started aligning together, because when you have blocked chakras, it's kind of like hard to manifest because you don't have the full like energy flow, and sometimes certain blockages in certain chakras can hinder manifestation. And I've had a lot of people say that all of a sudden their relationships become easier, their job becomes easier, that things that they're trying to manifest all of a sudden show up in their lives. But definitely like a lot of people like immediately after it just literally feel this huge sense of relief. And I've had one person tell me like, I feel like I wasn't living before this, and I didn't even have high expectations. Like I didn't even think I'd feel such a major change, but she's like, I feel like I was dead before and now I started living just now. And I was like, that is intense. Like, whoa.
And I mean, that's amazing. If we bring your chart back into it, I feel like Sagittarius is a creator, like a life giver. And then in the 7th house, you're directly bringing that truth to people. So beautiful, very amazing, and very fascinating too, which is super. And so you can also like Reiki crystals then too, and supercharge.
Yep. Literally like anything. You can do it with anything. And I also do Reiki every time I drink water, because you can manifest with water very well since we're made up of mostly water. And so I always like to like charge my water with love, or anything that I'm trying to manifest. I'll literally like put that energy into the water, and then when you drink it, your body matches that vibration and takes on that vibration.
So even
yeah, it literally changes its vibrational structure based on the energy you give it.
That's amazing. That's seen by the Emoto experiments too. So
Yeah.
very beautiful. So I mean, it's really great in helping one like focus their intent. Thank you. If this has already inspired me, it's inspired me to take my Reiki journey more seriously, because I'll have these breakthroughs and then I'll just lose focus again. But
Yeah.
it's definitely awesome to see, you know, what's possible and what has already been accomplished. But yeah, so now we know what kind of inspired the Gem Goddess as far as a channel and a brand. How is that brand? How's the journey so far? And what truly what was your spiritual awakening like that led you to this?
Oh my gosh, it was really intense. It was really scary. I didn't ever think I would do this like publicly. I always thought it was something that I would just keep to myself. It was something that I was so passionate about, but I just was really scared of like the judgment of others since like, I don't know, it's becoming more of a talked about thing, but I feel like in the past people really looked at spirituality and occult and metaphysical stuff as like not good and like stay away from it, it's bad. And so I was just really scared of that judgment, but I finally was able to like purge all of that through my awakening. And I think my awakening, I went through like really intense moments of pure happiness and bliss, and then pure like rock bottom, like destructive depression, like sadness. But I was able to kind of like get over it really quickly because I realized I started living my truth and I started living the things that actually like make me happy. I started doing those things every day. And so it was like a really difficult process, but led me to the most beautiful like part of my life, but definitely a difficult process.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's opened you up to connect with so many amazing people as well. So looking forward to it. It definitely does feel, you know, like you're on the brink of starting off on such an amazing adventure, but you've already accomplished so much so far. So that's really dope. That's really awesome.
Yeah, it's been crazy awesome. Yeah, thank you.
It's amazing how things work out. How about as far as, because I do believe Sag risings, moons, and suns, they have the ability to see energy. So how does that work as far as your ability to do the work you do, connect with others?
Yeah, I see energy, like I get feelings and I also see colors a lot. And so when I meet someone, I can kind of get feelings in my chakras. Like since I learned a lot about chakras and I do Reiki, I can actually feel where someone kind of has their, where they block energy, where their mind naturally just wants to add resistance. And no energy is like ever fully blocked, but it's just they repress a lot. And I can feel where they have their repressions. Sometimes I can't figure out what exactly caused the repression. Sometimes I get very strong visions of what did cause it, not all the time. But I do also see like a lot of colors, especially when I start working on somebody and doing Reiki on somebody, I'll start to get visions. And certain colors have certain meanings as well. And so if there's like a certain color in a certain chakra that's not really supposed to be there, I can kind of tell what's going on in that chakra based on that.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Anything you pick up on my energy currently?
Well, I do feel like you have I feel let me think about this for a second. I feel like you have a really like open channel to like intuition. And I feel like as a Gemini, you have like an open throat chakra, but I feel like there's times like I feel like you have a pretty balanced throat chakra. You know when to speak and you know when to not speak. You're not like the Gemini that's too expressive. You actually like have a pretty balanced throat chakra. You're not like too extrovert. Um, let's see what else.
So far, very accurate.
That's good. um, I feel a little bit of like maybe like sacral chakra, like block. Bit
Yep.
of sacral, yeah.
Yep. I have a huge block on my sacral.
Oh no.
I think it's because moon's on my Saturn and Cap, so it just like
Oh.
very restricted.
Yeah. Yeah. It sounds like it definitely caused that.
Okay. I want is it possible that blocks in an area like that can affect empaths and other people? Because sometimes I feel like some people can feel into the energy and pick up that unease where I'm so comfortable with it, but for them it just might be like, what is that energy?
Oh yeah. Sometimes when I meet people, I feel certain things and I'm like, oh, this is different. Because like sometimes things are common and some things are uncommon. And so like certain blockages can also feel like, oh, that one's a little different. You don't meet people like that every day. This is interesting. My Gemini is always curious about it. But yeah.
That's what's up though. That's what's up though. And someone had asked about do you have any advice with crystal grids? Is there any like crystal 101 course you can give us really quick?
Okay, so you can actually create your own grids. You can also use like certain other grids. There's like the Metatron grid and like the like basic ones that you can use. Kind of think about what you want to attract. A really good way of finding out what a crystal does is by the color of it. Sometimes a crystal has different meaning based on its color, but most of the time you can figure out what it means on the color. And if you're wanting to attract like love and relationships, go for like pink or greens because that's all the heart chakra type of stuff. You can also go for like oranges and reds because those are like your root and sacral chakra. So those deal with the more passionate part of the relationships. So just kind of figure out what you want and you can kind of like lay it out based on that. If you're wanting to create more of like more spiritual awakenings, stuff like that, you can use purple and blue crystals because that's like your crown chakra and your third eye. If you're wanting to communicate better, you know, any sort of light blue crystals, dark blue crystals, things like that. So also if you're wanting to attract more money, because that's another major one, I would say mostly gold, yellow, and red crystals because that's the solar plexus as well as the root chakra. Root chakra is all about money, material stuff, things like that.
Awesome. That's actually really helpful. So it's easy to go by colors, and based on colors, you can know.
Yeah.
Nice. The colors correlate to the chakras as well, as Rowena just said. What would you say has been like the three or one or two like favorite realizations or moments, you know, doing what you do? I remember you were asking, you were answering questions on Instagram and someone had asked you if you do anything other than this, and you were like, no, you just do this, which struck a chord with me because, you know, this is our lifestyle. It's pretty dope. Like,
exactly. Yeah. I really, really love it. I've been working a lot with manifestation lately, like, and manifesting finally big things in my life because I feel like everyone goes through a moment when they're like realizing manifestation. I'm like a firm believer in manifestation, and I didn't know if I could ever manifest big things. I had to work through a lot of self-worth issues and like, do I really deserve that? And why would I deserve that versus someone else? And like, shouldn't someone else get that before me? So I had to work through a lot of those types of things. But one of the coolest things is recently, after starting to do this every single day, since it's now my job, I literally have to do it every single day. And so it's like pushed me even farther. And now when I want to manifest something, I can get so specific with it, even if it's a really big thing and all of a sudden it just happens and I don't know how it happens. I don't even think about how it's going to happen, but it literally just like pops up. And so that's been like really, honestly, one of the coolest things I think I've ever experienced. Like just today, I got an email for something really big, and I don't know if I can mention it yet, but it's like a really big thing that's going to be happening in December. And specifically 2 weeks ago, I was like, I want to do this thing in December, and I want it to be like this and this and this, and I want it to be free for me. I want to be able to do it like this. I got an email for it today. It's happening in December, and it's just like, I was like, whoa, and it blew my mind. It's literally exactly everything that I wanted. So
amazing.
Blew my mind.
Wow. That's super.
Yeah.
I think synchronicities as a Gemini is like one of the most fun too, because like it's hard not to notice. And then you have Sag too, so.
Oh yeah, totally, totally. And I've been having like huge synchronicities of the number 4 popping up everywhere, like hundreds of times a day. So it's been a good little message from the universe, like, don't worry, things are happening, they're working. So if you see numbers a lot, like you're on the right kind of path.
That's beautiful. That's good. Someone wanted to know what you think of pranic healing compared to Reiki.
They're really honestly the same thing. Pranic healing is your energy, and so it's your prana, your chi, and so you can work with the actual prana, the actual energy, or you can work with Reiki, which is basically using the energy but focusing on like the chakras and stuff like that. I believe in prana healing, you focus a bit on the chakras as well, but they're really essentially the same thing but worded a little bit differently. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Looks like Reiki is more from the universe, prana is more from your energy. But
yeah, and prana can also be through the breath as well. So taking in the breath, and the left side is moon breath, which is feminine, and then the right side is masculine breath. And so you actually switch your nostrils like from breathing at certain times of the day. So if you want to be awake, one really cool thing is to close your left side, because that's your more sleepy moon side. Close your left nostril and start breathing through your right, and you'll all of a sudden become really awake. Or if you want to do the opposite, if you want to fall asleep, close your right nostril and start breathing through your left. But it naturally switches out through your day. So if you want to know if you're in like an awake state, find out which nostril you're breathing from, which is like really cool. So you can also do healing through the breath as well. And I think prana works a lot with the breath and healing through the breath.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's really awesome. All right. Well, let's see. We're going to read some cards. We could pull cards for like each element. So we can do like 4 cards for each 3 signs, or however how many cards you want to draw per element. But before we do that, let's play the 3 questions game.
Okay.
We'll take turns asking each other questions, and they can be about anything. And you can go first. I'll answer, and then I'll ask you, and then we'll go 2 more rounds.
Perfect, because I specifically wanted to ask you something too. I want to know your opinion if you've ever heard of this before. You probably have, or maybe not, I have no idea. But you know the asteroid belt that's between Mars and Jupiter?
Yeah.
I just found out that a bunch of people are saying that asteroid belts are caused when a planet kind of like dies and explodes, basically. So did you think that the asteroid belt used to be its own planet back in the day? I also read that Venus used to be one of its satellites, like its moon, and then Venus got shot out. And that's also when the Earth finally like melted its ice caps, because a few asteroids had hit the Earth, and that's when Atlantis got sunk, and because the ice caps started melting and all this crazy stuff. And so it was like a really cool theory that I read. But have you ever heard of that?
No, I mean, I've always been fascinated with the concept of the asteroid belt because, you know, the thing about it for me is once you pass Mars, you start to get to these titans. And I just thought it was interesting that there's an asteroid belt between that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's super interesting.
That's an amazing theory, though, that if it really was a planet, I wouldn't be surprised. I really want to research more about Atlantis and, you know, the civilizations before then. Venus being a satellite, very interesting. I've heard that it was created, and it represents manifestation in that sense. It might make sense to how we have a moon right now, but I'm going to really ponder that because I never thought, I mean, it would make sense. Where did these asteroids come from?
Yeah.
But I really feel like it being between Jupiter and Mars protects us from you have Venus, you have the Earth, you have Mars, and you have these bigger gas planets.
Yeah.
Separated there. So I feel like maybe psychically we have to pass that too to access these energies. But
yeah, totally. It's like the conscious versus subconscious kind of like barrier. Yeah.
That's an amazing question. I really want to look into that because if it was a civilization, if it was a planet, you know, I wonder how that might, you know, I'm pretty sure there's still residue energy. And then, I mean, there's talks about us being in a binary star system and then there being other Earths like around us. So definitely interesting. And I'm really glad you brought up Atlantis because I feel like now more than ever, it's becoming more relevant. People are probably gaining memory or feeling a connection to it. Maybe some people reincarnating from back then, which is hard to speak on because there's really no science around it, but still you can tell it's almost kind of weird to not acknowledge the possibility of it. So
yeah, exactly.
No, definitely a great question. I wish I knew. I mean, I feel like we're gonna awaken powers that could have us look into the past. So that'll be cool.
Exactly, it'll be so cool.
All the answers. But yeah, my question for you is, how do you deal with? Which I don't think you have a problem with, but what is good advice rather for dealing with skeptics when it comes to what you do?
For me, I understand that, you know, some people are just like that. I mean, my dad growing up, he used to be a huge skeptic of it. But eventually, after just like hearing me and my mom talk about it all the time, he was kind of all of a sudden like, oh, there's some like truth behind this, you know? And he used to really be obsessed with astronomy, not necessarily astrology, but he really liked the stars. And then when me and my mom would always talk about kind of what it's about, eventually he kind of like gained interest in it. And so my opinion is if you come across skeptics, or if anybody does, or if you have skeptics in your family and like you want to you know, do what you do without having harsh judgment. I mean, just be you, just do you. And that's something I think I learned like heavily in my awakening, is because I always used to be so scared of the judgments of other people, until I eventually just was like, you know, what makes me happy? This makes me happy. Why should I even care what anybody else thinks? It doesn't involve them, you know? And so I would say just like, be you. If it makes you happy, just do it. Don't even care what skeptics say, even if there's harsh judgments from them. Just, it's better to just ignore it, right? There's no way to prove it to them, just as there's no way for them to prove to you that your stuff doesn't work. So it's like a two-way street. I just decide to ignore it.
All right, not let it get to you, and not try and prove it. I feel it. Just,
Yeah,
that's beautiful.
exactly. Like they'll catch on to it and they might hear something that eventually resonates with them, and maybe not. Maybe it's just not part of their life path this lifetime. Maybe it's just not who they are. So, and everyone has different life paths.
True that. Very true. Life path 9 here. So we are on round 2.
Oh yeah. Okay. So another question. Let's see. All right. What got you into astrology? I don't think I've ever asked you that before.
Oh, no problem. Honestly, I'm realizing more and more astrology called out to me and brought me into it, because I was in a position where it was trying to before, but I was taught implicitly like, oh, this is of the devil, like, you know, do that. I don't know anything about horoscopes. And really, I literally went 2011 from like being hardcore, diehard Jesus writer, like if you don't believe in Christ, you're going to hell. Now I'm watching horoscopes because I read this one book called Misquoting Jesus. Amazing book. It goes in detail about how the Bible is not really as inerrant as it seems. And that started to have me raise questions, started to make me really question my faith. I had gotten in trouble 2011. So that was why this cop literally fabricated a police report and wrote in the report that I crashed into the car in front of me, because I woke up getting arrested in the driver's seat, even though I fell asleep in the passenger seat. And so it was almost as if the cop brought me out the car, put me in the driver's seat, and then arrested me. Wrote on the police report that I crashed into the car in front of me and charged me for a DUI. And then I had to get an affidavit signed. The owner of the car wrote that his car was not touched. It just so happened that the officer that did the breathalyzer test for me was going out with the woman who was the front desk clerk for my mom. So he hooked me up. He waited hours before he did the breathalyzer. I was wasted. Oh my God. That night I drank a lot. I did some other stuff. I won't mention. But I didn't drive. I couldn't drive. I was so fucked up. So someone had to, you know, take me back. But thankfully he looked out for me. He definitely, unfortunately, I still blew way over. But turns out he couldn't show up to court because later on, some lady accused him of sexual harassment. I don't even think he really did that, but he was definitely accused of it. So he couldn't show up to court. They couldn't really go forward with my case then. And I got a pretrial diversion, and, you know, thankfully I didn't really do it. So I think that's why the universe looked out. But that really had me ask, like, if I died right now, am I really living for Christ? Like, does my life reflect that I'm a true born again Christian? And it made me take my faith seriously. And I was ready to like be a theologian and like teach about Christ, but the universe had other plans, and that led to me, you know, entering Soul Garden. I met David, I met Chris Witecki. I would say when they read my astrology chart, that just like opened my mind to what's possible, and I just got obsessed, and the rest is history.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. That is awesome. Sometimes the universe just knows where you belong.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. And I'm so grateful because to this day it's been very evolutionary, exploring, very exploratory, very humbling, and definitely grateful for every part. This is still very surreal to me, like the fact that we can make a living like doing this. when people, made us believe that it's impossible, but we're doing it. My question for you, especially since, people born in the early 90s, going through their Saturn returns, if you're late 20s, if you're early 30s, and you're an astrologer, I think our generation is unique in that when it comes to the concept of having kids, like, we're probably going to consult astrology. Like, you probably know, oh, if we conceive now, we'll have this child. So if you ever decided to have a child, would you have preference over what zodiac sign it is? Or
Yes. Oh my gosh. I've actually totally thought about this before, and I'm just like, okay, I know which signs I get along with. I know what signs I don't necessarily get along with, but it also depends on the rest of their astrology. So I'd kind of like hope that they'd also be born at a certain time. And I don't know if I'd be like one of those, I don't even know what childbirth is like, but I'm hoping that I could look at a chart and be like, okay, what's their rising sign going to be? And it's like, oh, it's currently in that one. Let's wait a few more minutes. Come on, let's go.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Please, like, I'm not doing this right now.
That's so true. Yeah, you fight the baby to come out. No, you can't be a Taurus rising. Hold on. Wait.
Exactly. Just like, no, we're not doing this yet. No.
That's amazing. That's hilarious too.
Yeah.
So, is there any specific sign you would go for first? Like, oh, let's wait till this date.
I really get along with fire signs, and so fire signs are like my number one.
So it's not even, so it could be Aries, Leo, or Sag, just anyone.
Yeah, I get along with all of those. So yeah.
Those are fun children too. I heard Aries children can be very, very difficult, but it's still awesome. It's still
yeah, totally. But I like it. It keeps the Gemini like interested and curious, like what's gonna happen next.
Yeah. And such a fun dynamic. Fun hair, so fun together. Yeah, okay. I think now we're on round 3. Perfect.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, wait, do I still have to ask you another one, or was that it?
Yeah, one more round. We got one.
Oh, right. Okay, so I wanted to know what you think, because like the Greek mythology goes along with the planets a lot, and there's a lot of theories on whether like the Greek mythology is actually real or whether it's like a made-up story based on what the planet is and stuff like that. What do you think about all that?
That is probably one of the most fascinating questions I've gotten, because I've been really pondering that myself. Because now that I've accepted, it would have been so easy to just dismiss this off as superstition. But we see clearly how these planets do carry these archetypes. So what really did inspire the Greeks and the Romans to call them those names with less technology than we had? You have Dogons in Africa who were able to witness this too, and maybe and then that's another thing, because the different cultures call them different names, but they have the same meaning.
Yeah, and they're so similar. It's crazy.
Yeah, so that definitely makes me believe more in divine inspiration. I get really skeptical sometimes, and I feel like, no, these names aren't who they are. This is just the symbol they gave to us so that we can understand them. And I'm glad you asked that question, because I feel like now that we're a more psychically aware and technologically advanced generation, we may get to know these beings in their true essence. It might require like forgetting everything we know, but it's hard to do that since, there's been such consistency in these archetypes. So that's a really good question. I want to say, these archetypes are really, and in fact, it's due to that fact, which is why I can look at these planets and archetypes as real energies, as real entities, as opposed to just some concept. Like I'm actually talking to Venus or Aphrodite, and I'm actually, so it's kind of taught me to look at the name is called as a symbol for what is represented, and to really honor it as like a true being.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and I also really like that you said like forgetting everything you know in order to understand it, because that's like such, like, it's so real. And as well, when you go into like a past life regression or something, you have to forget everything you know. Otherwise, your own perception will kind of like influence kind of what you're seeing, or when you're having like a certain vision of something, like you almost have to forget everything that you know in order to really see the truth behind anything.
That's so true. Yeah.
So I really like that you said that. That hit hard.
Yeah, no, it's definitely, that's what's been hard for me because I like to think I know it all. So it's like I'm having to really, open up to a different way to see these concepts. Thank you for asking that though, because it's definitely a relevant question, very relevant. So my final question for you is, if you, it's kind of like a two-parter. So if you were embodied by any tarot card, what tarot card would represent you? And the second part to that question is, if you could trademark a superpower you have that's unique to you, what is that superpower?
Oh my gosh, I love this question. Okay, so I would be the magician since it's the number one, it's life path number one. Also, it's related to Mercury and I'm ruled by Mercury. And also when I went to like my like for a tarot birth card, so you type in your birthday and find out which cards kind of correlate to all the numbers that are in your birthday. I am Sun, Magician, and Wheel of Fortune. And the magician just shows up everywhere for me. So if I had to pick any card, 100% the magician. It correlates to everything that I am, everything that I kind of stand for about like taking the energy from the cosmos and putting it down on earth. It correlates to manifestation, Reiki, pretty much like everything that I do in my life. And so definitely be the magician. And any sort of superpower that I could trademark. Oh man, that's a tough one. There's so many. I wish I could fly, but I can't. But if I could pick something that I can't do, it would be flying. But yeah, other than something that I actually can do, I would probably maybe trademark.
Like one you've perfected and mastered for sure.
Probably my Reiki, and just because I have a very unique way of doing it, and so I wouldn't feel like I was taking it away from anybody. So probably my way of doing Reiki. I've never really seen people do it in the exact same way as me, because I really like look down into like, and there's multiple people that look down really deep into Reiki, but I don't know. I kind of just have my own way of like envisioning it and going like really into their soul and into their body and through like many different dimensions of kind of their being and going through their higher self as well to get into it. So probably my Reiki.
That's dope, because I'm even picking up strong that it would be so amazing if you can push the boundaries on that. Because I 100% believe that you could use your Reiki to cure cancer, AIDS, like very, very harsh ailments that could. I think we're looking at a miracle healer, and thank you for joining us. So that would be really amazing to see, what more you accomplish with this. And as confirmation, when I was pulling my tarot card deck, the first card I pulled for you was the Magician.
Oh.
In my head, I was like, oh, you have your blonde hair. You give me the star card vibe. But I got the Magician. So I'm glad that you said like early on in the chat too. So I'm so glad.
Oh my gosh, no, you actually just blew my mind, because that's been my card forever, and I've wanted to actually get it printed on a huge canvas, like a massive canvas to go on my wall on the side over there. So that's just crazy. That's confirmation I need to do that. Okay.
Super amazing. Oh, Empress Daisy says that you're cute. She's a Libra. She's a Leo, rather. Leo, Cat Moon. She says you're very cute, which is
cool. That's awesome. Thank you.
Also, yes. So let's pull some cards for the signs.
Let's do it.
Instead of pulling for all 12 signs, though, we'll just pull for each element. So it'd be like 4 rounds. Yeah. Okay.
How many cards are we pulling for each?
We could pull 3 for each. I guess that's a roundabout way for doing 12.
Okay. Cool.
Do you want to do each element together, or do you want to take 2 elements and I'll take 2 elements?
I'll take 2. You take 2.
Beautiful. Okay. I'll do earth and water.
Okay. Cool. And then I will do fire and air.
Cool. All right. Shout out to those of you in the live chat. I see Rachel has joined us. We got Philip. We got Tanya, who also has the same big 3 as Liana. That's awesome.
That's really awesome.
Cool. I always love like meeting new moon people, because it's like you give this gift to everybody, which is probably overwhelming, but I'm sure it's everyday life for you. So.
Oh, thanks.
Weird. I guess we could start with fire.
All right. Let's see with fire.
So the 3 cards would be for Aries, Leo, and Sag.
All right, sounds good. All right, we actually have 4 cards that came out because another one just like popped out when I did it.
Perfect.
Sweet. So first off, we have the Knight of Pentacles reversed. And so when this comes out reversed, it's kind of like you're a little bit off the trail and doing things, getting a little bit too distracted. So you might have a goal in mind. You might have something that you want to manifest, but I feel like you're letting things distract you, especially because the next card that we have is the 5 of Wands right here. And so this is kind of talking about you're letting conflicts happen. You're letting other people come in and kind of influence you, or other people coming in and saying, let's go out and party tonight. Or like, oh, you shouldn't be doing it like that. You should be doing this. And like, I don't see you doing that. Stop doing that. Let's distract you in this way. I feel like you're letting too many things distract you. This could also be stuff going on in your head that's distracting you from your real goal that you want to manifest. But there's something that you guys really want to do with this, the 9 of Pentacles. And so there's something like you guys want to feel good. You guys want to feel like number one. You guys want to do things that make you like just feel really good. I feel like that's what you guys want to do, all my fire signs. And what you need to do is change up the way that you currently do things with this Death card reversed. If you want to manifest your perfect way of life, if you want to manifest really big stuff, if you want to manifest a job where you can work from home, or anything where you can just have a lot of money and have this freedom, you guys need to change and stop being really distracted. Stop letting outer influences distract you. Stop letting people come into your life and tell you and dictate how you go about doing things, or dictate what you really want in your life, and tell you like the way to do it. Only you know the way to do it, and only you know what's right for you. So just focus on what you want. Don't let outer things distract you. Just keep focusing on your goal and just focus on you. Put yourself first. Fire signs are really good at putting themselves first. So just put yourself first and don't get distracted, because fire signs also do like to get distracted.
Beautiful. Karai Rose is like so accurate. That's dope.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's even better too. So there's no 3 card limit. You can draw as many cards as you want, and it'll just be like a reading for them. So I'll follow that lead. So,
all right.
We did fire. Water. We're gonna do water next. What do we have for water? Bloop, 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 bloop. Right off the bat, water. I can say intuitively, water, you're having to make a drastic switch from being compassionate to highly combative. And it's because you have to protect your emotional field, your psychological space. In fact, I'm picking up greatly that you're going through this you're fighting gaslighting. That's what I get right now. You're fighting once and for all the subtle psychological gaslighting tendency of people who are deliberately denying your supernatural abilities so that you think you're normal when you're not. And I mean that in a very good way. I got the Star card for you as the bottom card and the 4 of Pentacles. So this is a lot of rejuvenation and hope. Really just got the Star card though. I see you as this source of healing, but also gaining healing. We have the 2 of Wands, the King of Pentacles, and the 3 of Swords. Honestly, now I can see why I got the 4 of Pentacles, because most of these cards are pretty regal, and you're putting yourself in a position to bring in mad stacks of cash. And this is also like this King of Pentacles has a lot of work to do, but they're also balanced. I think you might have been dealing with someone who wanted to invest in you, but they were frazzled, they were overwhelmed. Well, now they're not. Like there's a very chill rapport here. You're being called, water, to make plans based on extra funds and to not really hold back. And then we also finally have the 3 of Wands, the Page of Swords, and the Temperance. So you're making plans, but you have people watching. This is definitely the spy card. So there's people watching the plans you're doing. I don't even get the sense that it's in a bad way. You could work with someone like this, hence the Temperance card, bringing in greater balance for you. In fact, this is promising great moderation. But the general vibe I get from this, water, if you found that things have been chaotic, and especially dealing with the gaslighting, is all the right people are coming in. You're brainstorming with the right people. The Three of Wands, I think, is the best because the long-term plans you're making are assured to balance your lifestyle. And we have the Star card here again. So this also denotes someone influential, who I think is that Page of Swords looking in at what you're doing, like whether a soulmate or whether someone actually famous who recognizes you. So that's definitely cool too.
That's awesome. I know someone who's a water sign, and that's totally spot on for them.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah. All right, so now air. See what's going on with air. I also have the same tarot cards as you, and I'm not using them right now, but they're over there. The exact same ones. All right, so air people. All right, we had a fallout card for air. Oh, justice. So right now there is a struggle for truth to come out. You guys need to focus on truth. You also need to focus on balancing. And so there might be something that's a little bit kind of off balance. It might be kind of debating what's best for you and what's like, no longer serving you, getting rid of things that don't serve you any longer. So that'll be like a major theme for air signs. We also have the King of Wands right here. So now's the time to act on your inspirations. I feel like for air signs, there might be a lot going on, especially when we have to cut away, things that no longer serve us and find a good balance. Whatever big dreams that you guys have, it is time to start doing them, especially if you guys have anybody in your life that's like rooting for you, that might like push you towards your dreams. Go with them, listen to them. We do also have the moon card right here. So listen to your guys' dreams. I feel like, okay, this is hugely talking about something that you guys want to do, like a big dream that you guys have. And so you guys might see yourself as becoming somebody a little bit like either famous or somebody who is like just having some kind of like really big dream now. It's a huge dream and you guys don't know how you're going to make it happen yet, but you don't need to worry about how it's going to happen. The moon never knows the path, but the moon illuminates just enough of the path so you can see like the next 10 steps in front of you, and it'll keep illuminating the next 10 steps in front of you as you keep going. So what you need to do is just right now, let go of anything kind of like negative in your life. Let the truth kind of like shine through, especially when we do also have that moon card. There's something that's not really revealing its like true self right now. So this could also be a person who's not like being truthful. But right now you guys just need to focus on you and cut out anybody who you get any sort of weird vibes from at this time, and listen to your dreams. If you had weird dreams about people lately, listen to those and just like kind of like usually dreams are symbolic though. So sometimes if like a dream is like really harsh, don't think that that's the exact reason behind what's going on. Just know that it's symbolic of the current energy that's happening. We also have the 9 of Cups reversed and the Page of Cups reversed. And so right now, you guys have these small ideas, but right now you cannot make these big dreams happen right now because of some kind of like truth that's not being told, of maybe some person that's not being like fully honest right now. But you guys have these little small ideas, and in order to make them happen, you just need to let any worries go, let any like truths that you can't figure out, just let any distractions kind of go at this time in order to focus on your little kind of like ideas, your little inspirations, also your intuition. Listen to those little intuitive messages that you guys get. Usually air signs, sometimes we're not the best at being like intuitive and getting in touch with our emotions, but we do also have that side. Everyone has that intuitive side. So listen to your intuition. It's telling you things right now. Don't deny your intuition. Really start to listen to it. And with that 9 of Cups reversed, something's on the verge of happening, but the only blockage is the fact that you need to kind of like bring justice to a certain situation right now. You need to figure out a certain situation that's kind of currently blocking you and really figure it out, because big things are in store. You guys can literally become the King of Wands. I feel like this is talking about other people in your life as well as yourself as well. And you can become this King of Wands energy, which is somebody who has really big goals. He's like the businessman. He makes things happen. He knows what he wants and he knows how to get it. And he just goes for it and does not let anything distract him. Talking a lot about distractions with fire and air signs, which is kind of funny, but there's definitely something that needs to like be addressed and something that needs to go away. And then you can make all of your dreams happen. Literally all your dreams will happen.
Super accurate. I'm not usually one that remembers my dreams, but these past few days I've been dreaming weird dreams, like just a lot of dreams. So
Oh, dang. Well, there you go. There you go. And I have too as a Gemini. I've been like having a lot of like crazy dreams lately.
much needed. Yeah, that was a really nice one. Okay, let's do, what is it? Earth? Finally, Earth. Earth. It's funny. Water had this huge like message, but Earth is just super simple. Earth, your message literally is like blank out all distraction and just keep getting money. Like even though that's stereotypical because Earth is supposed to be material. Yup. Hold on. Ooh. Okay, we'll stop it here. Even though it's stereotypical because Earth is supposed to be getting money, it's less about the money and more about just your focus because Earth signs, you're currently like leading the people around you, and everything you're doing is like a foundation that's like allowing others to walk on that grounding. So it's like you're going to have people trying to tell you that you're not doing something the right way, that you're having to do something different, which you ironically would expect from earth signs to be telling other people. But it's like I think it's Uranus influence in Taurus. Don't listen to people. That's the message I'm getting totally right. Like you're fixed on an idea. You're already doing something that's working for you. Keep it up. Anything that you're doing to get money is what I'm clearly getting. And it doesn't even have to be like currency. If money to you is peace, joy, just keep doing that and don't get distracted. So I got the Four of Wands, which is saying you're entering results for this. Clearly, if you have any Earth, Sun, Moon, or Rising, you've been working really hard for something very important. But you might, and this makes sense now because I have the Nine of Wands and the Seven of Swords, and this is you. It's like you're so close with the nine, but there's these deceptive influences that are trying to make you feel like what you've been working hard at isn't really as worth it, or you might want to try something else. This person's trying to lead you away and astray. But if we look at what's behind you, it's celebration and literal stability. And it's also you protecting this. It's like you're protecting this from, near dwellers, if that's even the word, like just really creepy and crazy influences that may try and stalk or may try and look into what you're doing, and you're really giving the discerning look. So just be very mindful because your results are here. The Four of Wands is literally talking about you celebrating all this work, but the message that I'm getting very specifically is like you've been working super hard and you're not having to wait anymore. Like you're there, but you have to stay focused because the moment you go unfocused, it's like things will really not balance. But I don't even think it's something you have to worry about because you put in the work. The only thing you want to be mindful of is that Seven of Swords, because it's a very deceptive influence. Like you can't be gaslighted, but there are people who are making you doubt what you're doing because they're lying to you, and you're taking them seriously. But you want to just trust that they're full of shit and keep doing you. And yeah, so I guess first of all, thank you very much. This was a very awesome talk. This is really cool.
Yeah. Super awesome.
In closing, if you don't mind, I noticed you have a singing bowl. Would you like to do like a healing singing bowl ceremony with me?
Sure, I would love to. Okay, let me just go grab that. I literally just got it like a couple days ago.
Awesome. I got one here too.
Oh, perfect.
I'll just do a supporting chime while you do your thing.
All right. Okay, I'm not the best at this. I play a couple instruments, but this is a new one.
What instruments do you play, by the way?
I play guitar, piano, flute, saxophone, and that's what I play.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's super dope. Appreciate you. I hope y'all enjoy this Reiki bath.
Oh, yes, it'll be good.
Does it matter if you use your right or left hand?
That's a really good question. I don't know too much about it.
Okay. We could discuss that.
Does it matter?
All right, you got
All right. And should we do like a guided thing maybe, or?
If you want to, you could lead this.
Oh, I can lead this? Okay. So, all right.
Do chills mean anything? Someone wants to know if their body's tingling.
Yes. So chills usually mean truth. It can also mean a spirit is present. Yeah, it means like a few different things, but mostly it's like a truth thing. It's like truth coming out. And sometimes like when you hear certain noises and you get chills, it's like a resonant frequency. It means that frequency that you're hearing resonates with your current soul's frequency.
Gotcha.
Okay. All right. So if you want to we're going to do like a quick like chakra cleanse. So right now, focus on your root chakra. Your root chakra is located at the base of your spine. And so bring your focus right there to the bottom, and any energy and any tension that you feel there. And we're going to take a deep breath in right now. And then focus on that energy right there. Feel it loosening up. And on that exhale, feel that energy coming out on your exhale. And then breathe in again and feel that energy loosening up even more. Feel it becoming lighter. Feel that tension release. And then exhale out one more time. And now we're going to fill that root chakra with positive affirmations of feeling stable. Let any worries about money leave. Feel totally secure and know that the universe has your back no matter what. And as long as you have a balanced energy, the universe will provide you with everything that you need. So breathe in this energy that you are totally protected and you have more than enough and you feel abundant and fulfilled. So breathe in that energy and feel it really resonating with your root chakra right at the base of your spine. And then moving up to your sacral chakra. Breathe in and feel this energy right below your belly button, this orange energy. Feel any tension here and feel it start to loosen. And on that inhale, really connect with that energy down right below your belly button and breathe in. And then exhale and release. And then inhale one more time and feel that energy break down even more and become looser. And exhale. And now we're going to fill that sacral chakra with positive affirmations. The sacral chakra has to deal a lot with relationships, how we relate to others. And I want you to feel peace. Any relationships that feel like they have tension right now, imagine them now becoming peaceful. Imagine them being okay. And even more than okay, send love to everybody in your life. Send love to these people. And breathe in and feel that love coming into that sacral chakra, and also feel love for yourself and breathe in that love for yourself. And then exhale, allow that love to expand to everyone in this universe. And then moving up to your solar plexus chakra. Breathe in and feel the energy that's sitting right above your belly button and right below your rib cage. And feel all of that energy that sits here. And feel it start to loosen. And feel that energy becoming more malleable, and breathe in and really connect with your solar plexus, that yellow energy. And on your exhale, release this energy. Release any tensions. Release any excess energy. This is a place where a lot of us feel our stress and anxiety. So any stress or anxiety you feel, really start to bring it up and allow it to loosen and exhale. And on your inhale, we're going to fill this area with peace and know that everything is okay. And anything creative that you want to do, allow this to come in, allow that creative energy to come in here and in your sacral chakra. And fill both of these chakras with that creative, expressive energy. Let those anxieties go and exhale. Breathe in and feel that creation. This is also a place where that determines womanhood and manhood and goddess energy and God energy. And so breathe in and take in that sun energy and allow your womanhood or manhood to really come alive and shine. And now moving up to your heart chakra. Breathe in and feel any tension or pain or hurt or sadness that sits in your heart. And allow it to become loose and start to move and exhale. And breathe in and feel it loosening even more. And really allow yourself to let go of any energies that no longer serve you. And exhale. And now we're going to breathe in pure love for ourselves and for everyone. And allow any pain from the past be healed, and breathe in that healing energy, that white light energy from the universe, that love from the cosmos, and know that you are connected to every single being on this planet. And now breathe in and feel your heart being filled with divine love from the universe. And exhale. And then moving up to your throat chakra. Think about all the things that you wanted to say to people, things that you haven't been able to say that kind of remain stuck there. And feel this energy becoming more loose. And allow yourself to breathe this energy out and know that on your exhale, anything that you've ever wanted to say to people that you couldn't will now be said in the energetic form of releasing this energy, and this energy will know exactly where to go and how to be cleared. So breathe in and feel that energy loosening up. And breathe out and let it go. And then breathe in one more time and then exhale and let all this energy out. And now you're going to fill your throat chakra with beautiful energy of expression and knowing that you can express yourself. And also to balance the throat chakra, you need to know when to listen as well. And so allow yourself the time to listen and also to express and feel the balance taking place in your throat on that breath in. Moving up to your third eye chakra, this is called the Ajna chakra. This deals with our perceptions, with reality and the metaphysical perceptions as well, how you view yourself. And so feel any tension between your brows start to fade away, any tension that sits right here, any thoughts that you have on yourself that are critical, so any criticism that you put on yourself, any false beliefs about yourself, any negative beliefs about yourself, let them go because they're not true. And so breathe in really deep and really connect to your third eye, and exhale any false beliefs about yourself. And inhale again and really start to connect with this chakra and know that any negative thought patterns can go because they no longer serve you. And then exhale it out. And then take one deep breath in and really start to fill yourself with positive affirmations. Know that you are so worthy and that you are absolutely perfect in the way that you are. And let this be true, because the more you take on the belief of being perfect, the more you will see yourself as being perfect, and the more your body will resonate to everything that is perfect for you and bring in the opportunities and everything else that you want that resonates for perfectness for you. So breathe in and feel that energy come between your eyebrows into your third eye. And then moving up to your crown chakra. the Svadhisthana chakra. This chakra deals with our connection to the divine and our connection to the cosmos. This chakra never truly gets blocked, but it can be blocked with being too attached to worldly things, being too attached to the material. We can have a material life, but it needs to have balance. And so right now, feel any tension that sits right above your head. This chakra is technically not attached to the body, but it's right above your head. And so feel any energy that sits here and allow this energy to feel more free. And allow that connection to the divine with that white light coming in. And exhale any tension that sits here. So breathe in and exhale. And breathe in and connect with your crown chakra. And exhale anything that no longer serves you. And then we're going to take in energy from the white light, from the cosmos, and have it coming in through your crown chakra. And feel it pouring through, feel it going through your third eye and coming down through your throat. And feel it moving down through your heart and through your sacral and solar plexus. And through your root chakra. And feel it rinsing down through your body. And imagine a root extending from the bottom of your feet down into the core of the earth. And feel this white light rinsing through each and every chakra, taking with it everything that no longer serves you, and rinsing it to the bottom and core of the earth, where this energy can now be transmuted and transformed into something new. And do one last rinse through your chakras and really bring in that white light. And then disconnect that root from the bottom of your feet and imagine it sinking down into the bottom of the earth, disconnecting from your body, letting go of anything that no longer serves you. Know that you are cleared and balanced, and this is a really quick clearing that you can do, and I do this in my meditations every morning. It's a really quick cleanse of your chakras. And then you can imagine your chakras closing and that white light just rinsing through as your chakras close. And that's a really quick one that you can do.
That was amazing. Honestly, when you got to the solar plexus chakra, and my heart's still like that now. I don't know if it's my heart or the chakra, but anytime I do exercises like this, I feel like a sharp pain. I don't know if it's something cracking open, but yeah, I think now that we're chill, it's starting to go away. But yeah, is that an open heart, or is it just energy? Is it supposed to like hurt?
Sometimes it does. Sometimes people get little pains here and there, and sometimes people get headaches at certain points. That's basically like a buildup of energy trying to get released, and so sometimes it can be a little bit of a blockage finally like moving through and coming out, and it can be a little bit painful because like we're used to having it there. So normally our brain, just as if like you put on a ring and then you kind of forget that you're wearing it, sometimes you don't notice the blockages that you have, and then when they start to come up, it's like, whoa, I'm feeling it now. I didn't realize it was there. And we start to become aware of it, so you feel it, but usually it's actually there all the time. But it's like getting rid of it and like loosening it.
That makes sense too, because I deliberately shut my heart off sometimes, and to not feel things. So
yeah.
But thank you so much. This was so amazing. How can people reach you? I mean, I have the links in your description box. What services do you offer? Before that, make sure y'all hit the Gem Goddess up, y'all. I mean, clearly y'all can see, as someone said earlier, you are the real deal. So yeah, yeah. I can reach you. What do you offer?
So I offer tarot readings and Reiki. When you get a Reiki session from me, it's a lot more in depth than the one that you just saw. That's like a really quick, like 10-minute kind of thing. But yeah, you guys can book that with me on my website, which is www.thegemgoddess.com. Underneath the consultations tab, you can book either Reiki or Tarot with me. You guys can follow me on YouTube at The Gem Goddess. My Instagram is The Goddess Gem, so it's a little bit like flipped. So you guys can reach out to me there. My email is contact@thegemgoddess.com if you guys prefer email, but those are all the different ways, and that's what I do. So that's how to find me.
I was wondering why I titled it The Goddess Gem, and then I saw it The Goddess. So
yeah, I go by both.
Cool. That's what's up. That's really what's up. That makes sense. Gemini, Sun, Moon, right? But other than that, yeah, thank you so much for blessing us. This is very healing and cool. And do you have any final words of encouragement for anyone who is stepping on this path, especially newly?
Okay, so that's a really, really awesome way to end it. So if you're newly stepping onto this path, just let any like fear of judgment go. Let any fear of like what others might think of you or what others think that you should be doing, let it go. If you feel like something resonates with you and you feel like you should be doing something or you want to learn about something, do you. And only do you, because we're all here with different life paths. Some people will correlate with it, some people won't. Like if you imagine a circle, some people are headed in this direction, some people are headed in this direction, some people are headed in that direction. And so not everyone's going to agree with you. And it's okay that you're headed in this direction. We all together make a full circle, each and every one of us, because we're all so unique and different. And your path is different than mine. My path's different than yours. We might relate on certain things and some people won't relate at all. So just don't mind anybody's judgment. There's going to be judgments no matter what area you choose. If you decide to do something that's so normal and so regular that your family will approve of or something, like there's still somebody on this earth that's going to look at you like, what are you doing? Like that's whatever, you know. There's judgments no matter what. So just be you at the end of the day. Do what makes you happy. And even if you like, don't worry about feeling selfish either, because you doing what makes you happy is going to fill your cup with energy. And then that way you can pour it out to the universe. You can pour it out to everyone else on this planet. The only way to make anybody else happy is to fill up your happiness first. And that way you can spread out the happiness. So focus on you, and making you happy actually makes the entire planet happy. So don't think it's selfish.
Beautiful. Well, you heard that from the magician herself. And stay tuned for new installments, new peace talks, and definitely make sure you hit up the Gem Goddess. And until next time, peace out, y'all.
Peace. I had so much fun talking to you.
Word.
Yeah, this was